Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a fantastic break, that you have your food and
Mhm.
your beverage of choice. Let's dive right back into our story. Um, Clyde, there are a couple. Are you looking for kindred or people to sell, like, for this car? I will ask you for
Ooh.
Aaron. What is your goal?
Um, I'll be honest, I'm kinda open to whatever. I think it would be fun if it was another kindred. I think we could get
Mm-hmm.
more out of it if it was. They're willing
Mm-hmm.
to do more stuff than just give us money, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you hoping to gain for this Corvette, this 1969 Chevrolet Corvette?
Ooh. Um, I was about to look at prices, and I was like, "Why do I don't care about money at all. Never
Yeah.
mind. Forget that." I think just because I know I'm probably gonna have to this is gonna be multiple steps through different no's, so, like, I'm gonna give it to
Mhm.
someone else, and they're gonna give it to someone else, and then who's gonna give it to the actual, person that wants it?
Mhm.
I would say I would just want, um, like, information, um,
Okay.
a bit about the buyer if they seem interesting or, like, if it's, like, some crazy
Mhm.
hotshot, Cammy or someone.
Absolutely.
I just had a thought if it was fucking Genghis, that'd be really funny.
Mhm.
It might be him. Um But if not, then oh gosh, there's so much shit I wanna know. Hmm, hmm, aspect of Prometheans, no, yeah, I'll keep it topical to what we just went over, and
Mhm.
everything, like, you, um has there been any rumors, anyone about, like, I'm assuming Tremere, but anyone who's been, like, creeping around, uh you know what I'm getting at, Heather, creeping around
Yeah.
graveyards recently.
Mhm.
Um,
So
'Cause
for
that
moving the car after you deliver it, you want information on people who've been sneaking around cemeteries?
mhm,
Okay. All right, we'll set that in motion. You have to deliver the car first.
okay. Do I
Um,
know to who?
they give you a street to just drop the car with the keys off of.
Okay.
Uh,
Alright,
uh,
yeah, well,
and they'll start. Yeah, they'll start
I guess
looking
we'll
for that
find
for
out
you.
later who had the
Mhm.
car. Well, I'm sure whoever
Yeah,
got it
even
is not gonna be shy
once
about
I
it.
will say once it's out of your hands, I will definitely later on for
Okay.
plot reasons, I will reveal
I'm
to you
sure
who
they'll
has the
enjoy
car.
it.
Awesome,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Sorry, I had to fix my chair. Excellent, excellent. So, is there anything else you'd like to ask or do before leaving the NOS?
Yeah, I'll ask, like, Billy or Ariva even if
Mhm.
they have heard from, Squiddy. I'll go with that name. Yeah, because I think that's where she
Yeah,
goes mostly.
yeah.
No, not Squiddy, shit. Oh, wait, that's what we call her. She goes by a
Mhm,
different, like, code
mhm.
name and everything. Eh, wait, shit, do I just know her, like I have, like, 3 different names for her. Can I, like
Understood.
oh,
Gabrielle,
man.
I think,
Gabrielle
Gabrielle is
is
her
what
actual
is
name.
is her
yes.
actual name. I
I
think
don't know what
Mhm.
but she's also, like, Ella Afrel, but that's her online name. I don't know if
Mhm.
she has, like, a
It's up to you what name you wanna try what name you wanna use. She didn't really specify which one to, like, call her in public, so that this is going to be something for Aaron, you to decide.
okay. Squiddy seems like something that just we call her, so I won't go with that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, Gabrielle is probably what she uses, like, around other hounds, so I assume that's what she'd use, like, in around other people. Yeah, I'll ask if
Mhm.
anyone's seen Gabriella.
Yeah, they kind of stop dealing the cards and look at you, and they're just like, "You're in tight with Gabriella?"
I just I haven't seen her in a while. She helped me out with something. I just wanted to see if she'd been down here in a bit.
Fuck. I mean, yeah, Billy the Skid is just like, "Yeah, we haven't seen her in, a while, man. She doesn't like to come down here, you know? Funny how a lot of the Nosferatu you, interact with don't like to come down here." but
That is a
listen,
weird coincidence, Billy. That oh, man, that's thinker. Yeah.
head scratcher. But
Yeah.
nah, we haven't. Gabrielle doesn't usually talk to us unless she needs something. Ever since she got hired on by the fucking prince of the city to be his cybersecurity.
Okay. Oh, we can expect that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she she's big time now. But
Okay.
y'all been getting close.
I
Yeah,
don't.
they're all looking at you now.
Yep. Oh, shit. I honestly, God, just figured out what her actual name was a week ago. So I guess I don't know.
Reva's just like, I mean, close enough that now that you haven't heard from her, you're worried. Asking us. We can look into it if you want.
Or maybe I just wanted to use her amazing also cyber skills as well. I have other motives, guys. Okay. I
Sure.
appreciate that. Okay. All right. Before this gets too awkward, I'll just be like, okay, Billy, I'll get in touch with you about setting up a poker game upstairs. If that's all the rest of you want to come and also get your ass handed to and get fleeced by me again, you are more than welcome to come as well.
Nah, shut the fuck. You just get
Yeah.
all but heckling.
Cool. Yeah. I think I make
Mm,
it halfway out the tunnel. I was like, shit,
mm.
Marlo. Cool.
You just hear in the back, I'm coming.
Yep. I totally forgot. I was like, shit.
Forgot about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just hear splashing of water being displaced where she like comes back up. She's like shifting her nose. Looks like it looks a stream of blood came out of it and she's just like, hi. Huh.
It,
I love when we come down here.
I can tell you seem to fit into some place down here, so that's good.
I mean, none of them are bad once you get to know them.
No, no, you're bad.
Yeah, you're kind of the only one who gets uncomfortable being in the sewers.
I don't get uncomfortable being here and just don't come down here a lot.
Why is that?
I just prefer to be, you know, in a place where where I know where everything is, and here is with people and stuff. I don't know. Okay, we don't have to go into this. So glad you had a good time. What two things did you learn?
Um,
Rumors.
I
What people talking about? What'd you find out?
yeah. Okay, so I found out that the reason why the prices for the blood bags are going up is because it's like, the whole um low supply, high demand kind of thing. And then I found out that like only a small group of people actually control the blood flow around here. They just have a bunch of sellers. So it will be hard to narrow it down to who to go to talk to about getting the prices set up back down.
Mm, okay, so basic information, nothing new or helpful. But I did not have to teach that to you, so I'm considering that a success. So good
I
job.
I would like to think that I got a bunch of information that's useful for me. I didn't know you wanted me to actually like find something to help you do your fucking job. I'm
I
sorry. I that came out
no
really
no
rough.
you okay you get testy down here. Good to know. But I just want you to get used to but just picking up things even when you're doing push-ups or challenging other us to a fight and then just like poke it or like nose and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
But if it's stuff you just figured out for yourself, that's still useful. I didn't need anything, but I just wanted to make sure you know, weren't
mm,
only just goofing off or probably talking trash about me behind my back, which is fine down here.
what? I care very much about you guys who threaten
Uh-huh.
my life constantly and have employed me. I wouldn't talk shit. And
Uh-huh.
Clyde, if you could give me a wit insight roll, please.
Okay. Shit. All right. Oh God, Marlo, I really don't have to talk to you about doing stupid shit. Okay.
Mhm.
my wits is not still up. That like we're done with the scene,
We're in it.
right?
Yes, we are in a new scene.
Okay.
Mhm, mhm. Do- Are you satisfied with 3 successes?
Oh, I can do willpower reroll for that one. Sure,
Okay.
3 more. Ah,
All
0.
right.
So I guess I have to be. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
just a 3.
So yeah. It does say Marlo is saying being very honest that she doesn't talk shit about you and you're not there. But it seems like she is kind of leaving out maybe a little bit more information. Like sh for creatures that do not need to exude extra energy, she gets very twitchy when she's
She does,
nervous.
yeah. Okay. So I just think I just stare at her for a little while, like almost
Mhm.
creepily so, and not moving.
Yeah.
So making sure, because I know she gets uncomfortable when we do this.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else you want to say to me?
No.
Mm,
No. No, no, looking everywhere but at you.
no, yeah, I see. I feel like you do.
I I just don't know if it's anything, really. I really don't.
Well, I think well, honestly, the best way to test that is to tell someone else.
Okay.
I will
There
tell you if it's stupid or not, and even if it is, I won't be mad at you for for thinking of something like for thinking of outside the
yeah.
box or trying to come up with something.
Yeah.
You could just tell me.
Yeah. A couple of people that I knew from Gary. They I just heard them talking about and they just described some people that I knew from Gary that I heard were just like skulking around like the edges of Chicago. And so I don't know why they no one ever leaves from Gary, so I don't know why they're here, but I don't know, apparently some of them have run into some guy that's been I don't know, doing some scary shit like ripping people's arms off just with his bare hands. And I mean, I'm not saying not everyone from Gary is a Nosferatu, but some of them are pretty strong.
No, but everyone from Gary, from my experience, is willing to hit you with a bus, rip your arms off. So that seems like a fair bet.
Okay, but someone in the city is ripping like Gary people's arms off. And like I get it. I don't know why people from Gary aren't allowed in Chicago. I mean, it's kind of universal in Gary. Anarchs aren't allowed in Chicago. And you guys seem pretty serious about that, but I don't know who polices the city. Everyone pretty much knows, but no one knows this guy. From what I heard, rumors about it is that he's got nice shoes.
Mm. Is this anyone from Gary who's been getting hurt like this, or just people you heard of?
I mean, yeah, it's an old friend, and you see her kind of like fiddle with her suit jacket.
Oh,
It's just an old friend that I knew, and they got from what I heard they escaped, but her crew got pretty fucked up, and from what I could tell, what the other Nos were saying, like they don't even know who the guy is that did all the damage. Like they can't ever really see him. Like it's always too dark to see him.
it's in the city still, right? Not just
Yeah,
this is in Chicago. Okay.
yeah, in Chicago. Maybe it's not again, maybe it's nothing. People like to lie and like boast about how they kick each other's ass. I'm just worried because I don't know. Don't get me wrong. This gig is super sweet, and I very much like running with you guys. You can't help but be worried with the people that you used to be around.
Marlo, are you scared something's gonna happen to you?
No, I'm not scared anything's gonna happen to me. I don't know. Who just rips somebody's arm off just because they can? And how strong do you have to be to do that? Like, I get we're strong as like a
Mhm.
clan can be, but I don't go ripping people's arms off.
No, no, I wouldn't either, but there are definitely some kindred who would, and not for great reasons. Yeah, maybe you're right. I think that might be nothing, but stuff like that, rumors that might be nothing, they're important. Even if it just tells you what people are thinking about, that's important too. I'm,
Okay,
I'm glad you told me.
sure. Mm, the two of you can exit the sewers, plans enacted, and goals to be obtained. Let's turn our attention over to Eli. Now, did you want to visit the library
Yes,
tonight?
please.
All right. And when you say the library, you are meaning the chantry, correct?
I do mean the Chantry, yes.
Understood. All right.
There's no other library in Chicago worth visiting.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
I'm sure there is.
Yet.
I'm
So,
Answer is yet. We have access to Donovan's bank account.
yeah.
Donovan's bank account is nice. It does not. I will say it does not have the years of extension that is a Tremere.
100%.
Mhm.
But we could have
So-
something that is actually useful.
Yes, that is
So,
very true.
so before I go to, so it's been it's still the same night, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. My hunger's good, but my willpower is so low. Oh no.
Mhm.
So before we go, I'll take the root thing out from underneath my bed.
Mhm.
I'm going to wrap it up in just a bunch, just wrap it up in like a scarf that I
Mhm.
have. And I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to see if Seraphima is home.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Sure.
like, yeah, knock on her door.
Mhm.
You probably see like Severin coming out after like disposing or
Mhm.
putting like the dress away.
Mhm.
Because she's probably in the future other room.
Mhm.
Mm. Seraphima, are you available? Is this a
Um,
good time?
if you head over to the other space, you probably for future context, this is the room that she would like to be the library. She's already like
Yeah.
plotting out like
You have
bookcases and work
with
tables
with
and
the money
shit.
and with the money and context that you have, you already have a contractor there, like kind of measuring things out per your specifications, marking
Mm.
which wall is going to be knocked down, which ones are going to be added up. You have designers there also ready with swatches, you have a
Mhm.
crew, a skeleton crew mapping out what needs to be done. And Eli, you see Seraphima in the center of it, orchestrate.
Yeah, we can talk, Eli. What's up?
I'm so sorry to bother you. I don't know what you're doing, but it looks important. But I am going to the library, by which I mean the library.
You mean the one that Donovan never wants to visit?
Yes, that library.
Hmm.
So I have a gift for you, which you should not touch. I hold out the scarf wrapped object.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you going?
There was
That's like kind of like leading him back out into the hallway where there are
Mhm.
not contractors and other people and things.
Understood.
What exactly is?
there was an awful lot of things that happened. I don't know if Wraith or Clyde have told you about what happened in the graveyard with the shed.
No. All I got was a text that something was happening, but I never got a follow-up that I was needed.
Someone tore a hole through the skin of the world into the Umbra using some sort of complex ritual involving this object here that I have wrapped in a scarf, and I need you to hold on to it for a while because I am not taking this anywhere near the Chantry.
All right, but do you want to go there by yourself?
Thinking,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to vouch for Seraphima to accompany me to the Chantry?
You know that the Chantry, yes, you would be able to, and you also know that the Chicago Chantry is open to any who show genuine interest in blood sorcery. They open their doors to those who want to pursue that craft, whether you are Tremere or not.
Yeah. So, like, Eli is just kind of, like, blinking at Seraphima as that sort of loads in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Seraphima, do you want to learn more about blood sorcery?
About it? I could.
That's genuine interest enough. Excellent. You want to go to the Chantry with me, and we can give this to Clyde instead.
Does this need to be in a secure location?
Uh, jury's out. I had it under my
all right,
bed.
let's rephrase it. Do we want anyone to be able to touch it while we're
Oh,
gone?
no, probably not.
Okay. Then let's utilize something else of Donovan's other than
I
his
wanted
bank
to
account.
put it in I wanted to put it in Donovan's wall safe, but Alexandra didn't know the combination.
That's all right. We can go do that now.
Oh, do you know the combination? He won't tell me any numbers related to his life, which is fine. I can't really remember numbers very well, but
Well, we can stash this away. I'll leave a note on it for Donovan in there stating, we'll tell him about this later. Just don't unwrap or touch yet.
that sounds like a good plan.
So
Seraphima, you're very good at coming up with plans.
I try. Actually, what's going on in that room is probably going to help you in the future. Realize your resources are a little low, so I'm reaching out to a couple people for some occultish things. But let's finish this up, and we can go
You're
to.
getting me a present.
Sure.
There's like a single like bead of red that like wells up in the corners of his eyes. Seraphima. Why? You didn't have to. I know that you.
Well, it
I
seems
haven't
like.
done anything helpful for you.
Well, it seems like more of your specialty seems to be cropping up in what we deal with, and rather than us possibly always dealing with the library that Donovan does not ever want to have a library card for, it'd be better if we had some resources here. So then we had things.
I reach into the pocket of my $9,000 fur coat that I'm wearing and take out a
A swath of $100 bills.
no, it's one of those. It's one of those just plain white cotton handkerchiefs that you can get in like a 10-pack for $5 at Target.
Yep. This is
Just
nice.
like, thank you.
Right. Waiting to get back word from one of my friends. They had something that I think you'll be very interested in, but we'll see what exactly the price tag is probably a little later. But let's secure this, and then we can go. I'll leave a note on Clyde's desk, because anywhere else, either typed up or literally touching his things, we all know he's very particular about.
Yes, we should tell. We shouldn't tell Wraith where it is because he's already touched it once, and I don't want him or his protege to be touching it again, because the Lasombra already have a concerning connection to the nature of oblivion, and
Oh, this is making me not want to touch this even more. Let's go.
it's perfectly fine. Like I said, I've had it under my bed for several hours at this point.
No adverse
Just
Not
proceeds to
so
go
so
to
far.
to the office to lock it up.
Absolutely.
I will put
Absolutely,
it in the safe.
Yeah.
Note
Seraphine,
for
you can go
Donovan of do not touch. Occult thing Eli found. Answers will come.
God.
Unknown occult
Just
object.
perfect. We have our Discord open as well, and just Donovan looking into his safe like,
What the fuck?
can't leave y'all alone a night. But
But yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
appropriate messages are left for like Clyde.
Mhm.
Like, hey, we're heading out. This is what's going on in this room. So if you see like contractors and things, that's what's happening.
Absolutely.
Clyde, please make sure that Wraith and
Celia.
Celia, thank you.
I
Please
thought
make
just
sure that
Wraith and
Wraith
Little
and
Wraith
Wraith
were
and
also
Wraith and smaller Wraith, please make sure
Yep.
that
Wraith and Little
neither of
Wraith.
them
Okay.
please make sure that neither of them
Appropriate.
touch the dark blood sorcery object, please.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. You all, Severin, get a new jacket, can drive you to Hyde Park, where a mansion sits. That is the seat of the Chicago Tremere. When you arrive, seeing the thick coat of ivy that covers the front wall of this manor home, you knock on the door. An attendant opens it, and like looks at you for only the three of you for only just a moment, and then steps aside and lets you in.
I would have gotten, I have to look very snazzy
Mhm,
whenever I go out to the chantry, because
mhm,
You want
some
them
of
to
them are
like you.
very sharp. Well, yes, and some of them are very sharp dresses, and it's intimidating,
mhm.
and they don't appreciate my style, so I'm just wearing a red suit.
Uh-huh. Love it, love it.
I have
Yeah,
to take off the coat.
I have probably changed into alternative outfit rather than Severin's jackets.
Understood. Nice.
Mhm.
I assumed as such.
Yep.
But yeah, inside you can hear hushed tone voices coming off from the different rooms and studies that are within this Hyde Park mansion. Uh Definitely an older building, but still has the very high polished and varnished wood of the staircases and the floorboards, that show that it's taken immense care in keeping up the upkeep of this home. Eli, you know where the main like studies are that have the antique book collections that could definitely help you with that. You do know where Primogen du Sable keeps his office if you wish to have words with him, and of course the other Tremere that claim this haven as part of their sanctum. You know where they register or at, but they might be currently teaching classes and holding like teaching rituals to those who show genuine interest. So you do see milling about. You see a number of kindred that make Chicago their home because the city is filled with tons of kindred.
So, have you ever been in a chantry before?
Not this one.
But one
What
in
exactly
general.
is their policy on ghouls specifically in this? Because I know the Tremere here are not exactly a
They're
very
actually
large population.
they're actually very open and accepting here, as long as you have a sort of genuine interest in learning blood sorcery. I don't see that Severin would be a particular problem, considering that he is your ghoul, because he is just an extension of yourself, as long as you keep him fairly close to you and don't let him touch anything.
Kind of share a look with Severin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
Mm.
looks
I
at
mean, I
you.
think you could probably have him hold books for you or things like that, but just don't go, like, willy-nilly looking at things. Sorry. I say to Severin.
Mhm. He gives no facial recognition of like he's offended or not. Um,
But if you would like to explore around, then you of course have the option of doing any research of your own that you might like to do. I am going to look specifically for that thing.
Why don't I stay with you? That two sets of eyes could be better than one.
That also works. I've no preference. I've no preference either way. It's just probably a good idea. Like you said, it's probably best considering considering my primogen might not be best for me to be out by myself. I still have to do. Oh.
All right, one thing at a time.
Yes, of course, yes. This is a bit more pressing. I would like to know why someone would want to try and tear a hole into the labyrinth.
Right. So, what collection of books should we start with?
That's an excellent question. Do I know?
yeah.
This is some necromancy shit.
It is. So you'd probably have to start with like old rituals to see if you can find anything similar to that, to bring something to see if you can find anything like that. You could also do research on the point of the tree that you found, so doing like horticultural research, see if it's like a native tree or if this is something that someone brought because it's a specific, maybe that'll help because it's a specific ritual that maybe it needs specific items, so you have to look up what that tree is. And that, you know, there are a lot of different avenues of which to go through, but probably any books that would explain in detail certain rituals would probably be the best starting point for that.
Yeah, and I think I think you're right in that starting with the components of it is probably going to help narrow it down first. So what rituals, like this root thing, what is it a component in?
Yeah, so this is going to be so a couple of components. It's either going to be intelligence academics, or resolve and occult.
Sign me up. Resolve an occult, please.
You get a +1 for either of those choices due to the subject of which
Yay!
you're studying.
Thank you.
In the Chantry Library.
Would I theoretically be able to help at all?
Yeah, so together that would be a +2.
Because I do have a dot in occult, ironically.
Yeah, so
got
you are
something, not a lot.
Yeah,
something.
you are able to help, like looking through certain books, trying to find what it is that you need.
So debating if I want to take half or not.
Well, what are you sitting at?
Taking half would give me 5.
5 is pretty good.
5 is pretty good.
Pretty hefty number.
I'm gonna take half on this one.
Okay.
Just because this isn't the main role. This is just finding out about the root.
All right. So what you find of the root, pulling a bunch of different books, putting them aside, going through, what you and Seraphima find that this root seems to be of something that you recall what it sends is, and the markings that you're able to find. It's something called a Golthias tree.
Oh.
Yeah. A tree that has been ritualistically treated and like the flowery language says watered with the blood of sacrifice. And this tree seems to think the branch and root that which you find seems to be that's what this root is, if it has that reaction that you felt when you held it, and seems that can be an instrument that can be used to tear a hole to the Umbra.
Hate it. Cool. Can I narrow down specifically what ritual it was?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to say we'll let your 5 carry over. That you do find a ritual, that it's not a blood sorcery ritual. It is a one that is in a very old book
Mm-hmm.
that seems to have a lot of it looks like this ritual that you find that involves the Gothias tree is to pull a soul from the Umbra, but there has to be an equal or equivalent exchange.
Oh. Uh. Seraphima, do you know anybody, by chance, who would want to pull a soul from the underworld?
What do you mean by underworld?
As in a dead person.
I imagine
And
a number of people would like to bring back a dead loved one.
I'm speaking more about kindred who might have the ability to do so, because that's what this ritual is. Alright, so sit down with me, and I'm going to explain to you
Okay,
what happened in the shed.
right. That'd be
Mhm.
nice to know. No one has told me yet.
I recognize that I have given you zero context up until this point, other than the fact that there was a weird tree and a dead body. So I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna explain
Mm-hmm.
what happened in the shed.
Okay. So
And so,
we have this root or branch that seems to feed on blood from a body that's missing vital organs and
yes,
a
yes,
rip into basically the horror monsters that Wraith's clan associates
yes,
with? Okay.
outright.
All right.
So I would know. So I would know with 5 successes. Would I know that this is definitely necromancy and not just blood sorcery? Like, this is
Yes.
necromancy specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, like, I'm an older kindred. I know that
Mm-hmm.
that narrows that down.
It does.
Yeah.
There are very few kindred, not even Tremere, that
Hmm.
can perform these kinds of rituals.
Yeah.
So would that help maybe cancel out anyone not supernatural possibly being able to do this?
Well, I mean, I don't know if humans have this sort of ability. I don't know what humans get up to these days. Maybe
Right.
mages can do some
Um,
bizarre things, but this specifically is a form of what Wraith can do. Of Oblivion.
okay. I do have a question. Is this like a private study room that we're in, or is this an open space?
I will say for Seraphima's paranoia, it is as private as a vampire's
Hmm.
sanctum can
Okay.
be. But there are no kindred very obviously around where
Okay.
you are.
Um,
Oh, it would be. I mean, the only kindred that I can think of off the top of my head who regularly dabble in this sort of thing are, I think, Clan Hecata does.
hmm, that could be an
Maybe
interesting
some other
thing.
minor ones, but
Hmm. Um, would there be anything I could roll to just rummage through my brain?
Mm-hmm.
Um, for like maybe not even like who specifically could be because I don't know if she, like, necromancy is not exactly like it's like, oh yes, this is a skill that I have. It's like one of the
Yeah.
hush hush
Mhm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything I can kind of roll through with my head, because she had a lot of time in Europe where it was very different clan activities and things, like
Mm-hmm.
what else could this be in like a supernatural kind of case?
Yeah,
And
I would say intelligence insight to recollect your own memory.
and to sort of piggyback off of that, uh both of us sitting here pondering, can I think of there have been in the cult, in the occult circles, has there been any mention of like Clan Giovanni or Clan Hecata or anything like that, any of them that
Yeah.
have been rolled into town recently? Because there's not tons of them.
There's not, and they do have extended families,
Mm-hmm.
of course, as well. So that I'm going to say is going to be a intelligence, and then if you have any dots in status.
Okay. I am
Uh,
gonna do a rouse.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she gets hungry. She always gets
Get hungry.
fucking hungry.
Such is the life.
Always.
I'm just hungry.
Just,
I
I'm a
do.
thirsty girl. That's what this
Yep.
is.
Oh, I do have one dot in status, so I'm gonna rouse my intelligence.
Okay. So,
I get hungrier. I think too hard.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that's intelligence +1.
status would not help me in like being able to use what I
Not
had,
so
would
much.
it? Okay.
No.
That's what I figured.
Um,
I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, always have.
Um, yeah.
I'm gonna save my willpower, and I'm gonna keep that.
Okay.
All right, intelligence. I rouse, so that'd
gonna
go up to
rely on
4,
Seraphina.
5, 6 total dice. I don't think anything else is really gonna help me.
So on a 1 Eli, you can't recall it. You'll probably have to talk to a keeper of Elysium, or perhaps a harpy to speak to if there's someone like a Giovanni in town. Since since the herald position is not filled yet, that would be the official person you would speak to if someone of that kind would be here, because you have to present yourself to the prince of any Camarilla territory. But the position of herald is not yet filled in Camarilla, in the Chicago Camarilla.
Means that I'm going to have to go and talk to people.
Yeah, you'll have to possibly go talk to keepers of Elysium to see, or any of the harpies to see if anyone like that is skulking around in town.
Okay.
Awful. Everybody at Elysium thinks that I'm a joke. I mean, it's useful sometimes, but still.
You know what? I've got willpower that I can use, so we'll throw it in there. Actually, no. I would only be able to roll 1 die.
You can
Forget
see if
it.
it's a crit.
We could try.
It's up to you.
Sure, why not? I haven't used willpower.
You've been succeeding wildly on everything.
A total
You
of
succeeded.
5.
A total of 5. So, in your experience in Europe and the old world of Camarilla Court, there was indeed a very tight-knit and high power structure of kindred, specifically in the Italy region, that claimed dominion over a lot of rituals that have become lost to in the modern nights. Clan Giovanni. And
Clan Giovanni.
many other very rare and minute sects of kindred whose bloodlines have become so varied and new that they've, in modern nights, since the fall of the Giovanni and the rapid destruction of European courts by the Sequid Inquisition, they've come together to cultivate the clan of Hecata. numerous gatherings of individuals who have a deeper understanding of death and what lies beyond. And they specifically have rituals that go far past beyond just blood sorcery. Some even very much having the ability. You've seen in a couple of times one of the mini parties that your sire pulled you to. You did see a ritual that was performed that the performer in question brought and lifted up corpses like her own marionette troupe. And it was entertaining for those who watched, but macabre in that sense.
Okay. Yeah, I repeat all of that for Eli, if that helps give any extra foundation.
I mean, there's nobody that I can think of who's... If they've rolled into town recently, they did so without much fanfare, and I think that if we wanted to find out more, we'd have to talk to the Harpies.
Moderately random question. Hecata is basically a collection of like the smaller like clans and things like that. The ministry's not under that branch or umbrella, is it?
The ministry are not a part of Clan Hecata, but the one who would represent them, if there are any who are Hecata clan members, they would be under the same branch as the representative who represents the ministry, which you all know him as... Oh gosh, what is their name? Marcel.
Okay.
He is not a primogen, but he is the spokesperson for the clan of ministry and all of those other clans who do not have enough sway to have a voice in the court. He speaks for them.
Yeah. So he would speak for Ravnos, Nagaraja.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I also share that with Eli.
And you know Marcel is also a ministry member. He is of clan ministry.
Yeah.
Would it be better to talk to would it be better to talk to a court harpy, or would it be better to talk to a ministry snake?
Well, Donovan knows a ministry mouse that I like to call her as.
Is she amenable to being talked to?
I think Donovan would have more weight with it. You are familiar with this individual. He cleared out the Aries.
Oh, that one. Thought they were just fucking.
I'm sure that's what happened in order to start the deal and have her in his pocket, but she is technically ministry, so I'm not quite sure what the arrangement is, but
when Donovan comes back from business, I can ask him. But
if anything, it's good foundation. Is there anything else you can think of while we're here that would be of use? I know that you had been wanting to maybe catch up on some of the blood sorcery teachings that you've maybe been distracted from.
Well, yes, but that's all personal, and you don't have to stay for that. I mean, I could wait until everything is dealt with who before coming back. I mean,
well, do you need to literally stay?
I'm gazing longingly at the books.
Well, do you literally need to stay and have a class, or is this just studying text?
I don't know would the Chantry be amenable to me taking books away from their library, or
depending on what they are.
Okay.
These ones, yes, but ones that are in the upper levels of the mansion, you will have to be watched by a Chantry member, and you cannot take those without doing some shenanigans.
Okay. More things that would deal with like lower level blood sorcery rituals.
they would if you could probably form a deal that would let you take them home, but that would let you check them out.
Mm-hmm.
But they are very protective of their books, so you'd have to like very.
My charisma's good.
Mm-hmm.
I can also help.
My persuasion's good.
Mhm.
Theoretically,
worst case scenario, I have a camera on a phone.
Uh-huh.
theoretically, I mean, there's not the. I know that they've let people take books home before,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
You
not
just have-
Tremere, but I do. I mean, I do have a genuine and abiding
Mhm.
interest in blood sorcery as a discipline. I'm not totally. I'm not a total neophyte to the matter. I am. I'm level 1.
It's how he
Mhm.
sees himself, though.
Yeah, but yes, if you are amenable to perhaps helping me grease some palms, I might be able to take a few books home
Mhm.
instead of having you have to remain here.
Well, we can see what kind of resources we can arrange while we're here and try to collect them quickly so then you don't necessarily need to negate that interest while we're
Yes.
dealing with everything else.
Mm.
Serena,
Yes.
while I'm looking for books to check out, are there
Mhm.
any people here that I see that don't look like Tremere, but do in fact maybe look like Toreador? Look like a Toreador.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Are you looking for someone in particular?
I'm looking for the God, what's her name?
Portia!
Portia.
Mm, yeah. I would say that looking for that group, the one that you would find,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see. Roll me a 1d10. Roll me 1d10.
Run 1d10. A 1.
A 1. Yeah, the group that you would see her with, because you do see there are Toreadors here. You can tell them by their berets. They are sitting with a young woman who East Asian descent, dark hair, very deeply curled, pulled off to one side. She's wearing like a blue shirt with large puffy sleeves and like a black leather mini skirt and knee-high boots. She's kind of like going over a very small ritual with them, and they just seem to be look, it's a slumber party vibe, but
Mm-hmm.
blood sorcery is the topic. That
It's
would
the
seem to be
equivalent
the
of the
group
Ouija board, or like light as a feather, stiff as a board.
very much so. This would seem to be the gaggle of which you'd seen Portia, given the age that she is. But you don't see her in their group, but you have seen a couple of these Toreadors hanging around her.
Okay.
Along with this, you were very briefly at one of the Elysiums, but emotions were rather high because Newberry was mind controlling you. But you
Yeah.
would remember this young woman, this young East Asian woman. Her name's Sun. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you do remember very briefly her name. She seems to talk to Portia every now and
Okay. I'm not going to stray too far because Seraphima is here, and I don't
then.
want Seraphima to snitch on me to Donovan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna make a note that they are in fact gathering here, that I could
Mm-hmm.
potentially, maybe after Newberry is dealt with, who knows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
I would like to check. I would like to
For a later date.
for a later
Later
date, but for
date.
now, I would like to just gather up several books on intro level blood sorcery rituals and approach whoever the Tremere guarding the door is and be like, I would like to check these out, please.
Absolutely. So they take like the back of your palm and they say, if you would allow.
May I have slightly more information firsthand?
we will need a vial of your blood.
Mm-hmm. Do I know if this is common practice?
This is.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you guarantee the safety of it? Not going to fall into anybody else's hands?
We can guarantee the safety of your blood, and as
Oh,
soon as you return the items in question, your blood will be returned to you.
excellent. All right, I hand out my hand.
Yeah, they turn your hand over to where they're facing like the top. They
Mm.
very quickly slide the knife across your hand. You have to will the blood up as they gather it into a small crystal vial. And they're like, we hope you enjoy your literature.
Thank you. You too. I leave.
I go with.
Yep. So yeah, you have the resources needed to gain a level 1 ritual. Once you have the XP to do so.
You're welcome.
And Mhm. And with that, I think I will ask if there's someone who one more person who has something they'd like to do this night. Something they want to get
i-
ahead.
is that a thing, Clyde? That's a thinking face.
That's thinking face.
That was me thinking. I don't know if I have a thing yet. I got a lot of shit done already.
The only thing
Yeah.
I would want is if we've got a concept of what the favor I owe Koji would be. But if somebody wants a proper scene, then you can absolutely have a proper scene.
No scenes room. All right. So the brief detail that Seraphima that you get from Point is notes out so I can give proper jokes is okay. Yeah. So there is a professor who is going to be holding a get together for a number of kindred. He has a jeweled dagger, a part of his private collection that Koichi would like you to procure for him. He's tried to offer money, but the professor doesn't care for money, boons, or favors, and now Koichi's kind of resorted to
Alternative methods.
alternative methods to get that.
Okay.
And the professor is kindred. And it seems to be that he is having a private party, but Koichi believes that with your social aptitude that you'd be able to snag yourself an invitation. All you have to do is get the dagger, give it to him, and he'll give you the last bits of collection for your book.
Okay,
Or
so
for your library. Yeah, it
jeweled
is
dagger.
Yeah, Professor Bellamy.
Professor Bellamy. Do I know what clan he is?
Yeah, Professor Bellamy is a... Sorry, getting my note. Yeah, Professor Bellamy is a gangrel.
Oh, lovely.
One of the those who, much like the Primogen, that remain in the city as opposed to becoming autarchus or even when the max exodus of the Gangrel clan happened.
So he's like borderline autarch, or
in the sense that people believe he's become an autarchus, but he's been reclusive from any Camarilla gatherings or sightings, even though he's a brilliant scientist. And there were points where people of the Camarilla court thought he was going mad, because there were points where he thought he had a cure for vampirism.
Oh no.
People worried very much about him. He had a lot of close friends and contacts because he is a brilliant scientist in his human life, from most what you can attest to. But he's been very reclusive from what you know of, since you're a new arrival to Chicago. But it seems like now that he's re-entering Cameron society and
Okay.
doing so with, as many kindred do, with a party.
All right. Do I know when this party is?
It's going to be a couple nights.
Couple
now,
nights.
For plot reasons, on a night when we want to explore that.
Okay. So there's rumor that there is a party. It's TBD.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only
Cool.
those who have the invitation know.
Cool. All right. Dun.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I think we'll leave with everyone settling in just for one of those peaceful nights that you get to have. When we come back next week, perhaps we'll follow more in on Clyde, on the investigation of the missing kindred from New York.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I will
Oh
think
yeah,
about
like you
again.
forgot.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that
about
is a
ending
thing.
on why it's very important for you, Clyde, as you put in the tape to watch
Yes.
the feed outside of the gas station. You do see this very thin, wiry young man. He looks very young, from the one who says to be Gabriel. He, very dark, complexion, thick, curly, tight curled hair. As he's at the gas station, looks to be grabbing like Twinkies and Capri Suns and talking to the cashier. And as you're watching the clip, you do see very they're wearing nothing identifiable on their shirts, jackets. They look like everyday people, but they are very largely built. They're wearing baseball caps and sunglasses, and are moving in a way that they know where the security camera is and are very closely watching to make sure they don't look toward the camera. But from your viewing of them and their size, and you can very much peek that they have firearms at their side, they are they look ex-military, just how they move, and they don't talk to one another, as you can see on the video cam footage. They just look at one another and seem to just move without vocal cues.
Okay.
And they are strategically placed in corners as they just seem to watch Gabriel as he pays the cash attendant and leaves the register. The camera feed switches out to what looks to be pointing outside, and you see them grab Gabriel, the ones who are wearing the sunglasses, grab him, and Gabriel's like struggling and moving, and it takes about 4 of them to hold Gabriel as they drag him toward the van. And you watch as the van panel goes down. You see that plaster mask with the reflective eyes. And you see Gabriel is screaming something. And there's a moment where 2 of the people holding him are like, you watch them let him go and move like like he told them something and they didn't move, but the guy in the mask doesn't at all seem to be affected by whatever Gabriel has said, pulls out a semi-automatic and shoots Gabriel in the head. And you see Gabriel's head go back and like lift up, very clearly shot and disorientated, and you see the ex-military who were holding him just stare in shock, and then reinforce to grab him, throw him into the car, and they drive off. And
I don't
then
happen to get any plates, do I?
give me a wits technology to try and quickly grab it. The picture is grainy and
Yeah.
terrible,
Okay.
but give me that wits
Um,
technology, see if you can find it.
I don't think I have a lot of in technology, but I don't think any of them are like that specific.
Mhm.
I'll do one more rouse for sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh shit, wrong thing. Hold on.
Mhm.
It's technology.
Whoo! Yeah, you can get the plate. And I will say with
Hot.
5, your like whatever programmings that you have in your thing, this looks like a plate that would be licensed to the District of Aurora.
Okay.
So yeah, you have the plate.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Okay. Cool.
Mhm. Amazing. And on that, with that information that you have, I think that's where we're going to end our uh show for today. I hope you guys had a wonderful time playing, and I hope you all had a wonderful time watching. Please come back and see us whenever we're live on our channel. And if you can't catch us live, you can catch our VODs on YouTube by the same name of Dice Droppings. Not only do we have this, we also have our
Game
Game of
of
Thrones
Thrones.
Game of
Mm.
Thrones Song of Ice and Fire on there. And check us out. We also have our Twitter page. Also, you can follow us all on all social medias by that same name.
We have links for the chat. We will throw them into the chat. They'll be there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's everything for us tonight. Again, I hope you have fun, and no matter when you're watching us, good morning, good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.